or another. It was kind of one of many jobs or careers out of several options, right? So at different times I thought, well, I'm going to be a professional baseball player. And then when I quit playing baseball in 4th grade, that very quickly became apparent that's not going to be my job, right? I thought, well, I could be, in 5th grade, I wanted to be an astrophysicist, just like every normal 5th grader. I loved space and space exploration and all of that. And so I thought, well, I could be an astrophysicist. I thought I could be an engineer like my father. My father's worked for Boeing for 40 years. So, talk of engineering was always present. Uh-oh. Getting batteries! Sound check. Hang on. Help. Okay, break. Stan's coming. We're going to be okay. Stan. Perfect.
There you go. You gotta hold it a second. Good? Yep.
Okay, we're back on. Thought I sounded a little quiet, so thank you, Stan. So, thought of priesthood all the way through, just okay, one of many things I could do. It was really, and I suppose the other thing I should say is, growing up in our home, the faith was always something that was present. The faith was always something that I knew was important. And it's not like, as I said, we were, I think, anything extraordinary. But, we went to Mass every week and talking about what was happening at church, what was happening at the parish, what we were learning in religion class. Like, those are just normal topics of conversation. And so, for me, the faith was always just part of life. And that just, was the ground, I should say, in which I kind of grew up. And so it was really when I was in high school that question of the priesthood, or the idea of the priesthood, became much more concrete and much more pressing. Because in high school, especially kind of sophomore, junior year of high school, you begin to think about college, and then you begin to think about, well, what actually might I be when I grow up, which is a rather terrifying and overwhelming question. At least that's how I experienced it. Didn't quite want to make a decision, didn't quite know, wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do or whatnot. And so I just kind of would avoid that question as much as I could. And yet there would be these different occasions. There'd be these different moments, these times. I was active in my high school youth group. And there'd be these times on retreat or at a gathering that we would be having in which the idea of being a priest would just very much be present, would very much come back to me. And then there were these other times. We have, of course, Kenrick Lendon Seminary here in St. Louis, and so there were probably a handful of occasions when I was in high school that I would spend a few days or a whole week at the seminary for a different retreat or program or whatnot. And I always experienced it as a place of great peace, a place of great joy, and a place of great contentment. And so I would have these moments in which it's like, okay, there might be something here, and I think maybe the Lord wants me to be a priest. And at the same time, I didn't like that thought, right? If I'm being very honest, it was a thought that frightened me. It was one that I was a little embarrassed by. I didn't really talk about that with anybody. I didn't really share that with anybody. I kind of kept it to myself, and not only did I keep it to myself, I tried to suppress it as much as I could. So I tried to become as busy high school and with friends as I could. Tried to look into many other things that I could do or could be, and so thought about it could be a doctor or a lawyer or whatnot. And I kind of settled and kind of moved through high school quickly here. I'd kind of settled by the time I was a senior in high school on the idea that, well, I think I'll go to college, I'll study theology, philosophy, and then hopefully be a high school teacher. That was the idea. That was the best I could come up with, and I kind of liked that idea. I thought that'd be pretty good, they'd be pretty enjoyable, and yet the whole time there's something kind of nagging at me. And I remember being challenged at a certain point to say, okay, stop asking yourself what you want to do.